gang shit. That's all I'm on.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who has the biggest ass of them all? That'd be me. And if the Mandela effect changes that to magic mirror, I'm going to be pissed, because that's not what I said. Alright, today we're going to be watching a bunch of Joe Rogan, Tim Dillon, one of the funniest motherfuckers out there, some Eddie Bravo saying some crazy and then some Shawn Ryan toward the end. We got a bunch of shorter clips that we're just gonna smash together. Let's friggin' do it.
Throughout history.
Right.
I mean, that's what they did when they got rid of JFK.
That's what Lizzo should have done with those bitches. But those bitches who turned on her because she was trying to help them. First of all, that's not even a character. Like, you don't get to be a fat backup dancer. That doesn't exist. It's not real. Lizzo made that category of person. She made it. And then they turned on her. That's crazy. What
is she accused of?
Fat shaming them, making them rehearse, making them stand up. That's what their version of fat shaming is. Making them stand up and walk onto the stage. Making them rehearse, taking them to a sex club in Amsterdam where the performers are shooting bananas out of their pussies because this is what happens. And Lizzo's like forcing them to touch the nude performers and force one of them to eat a banana that came out of the vagina of a performer, dancer in the sex club. Lizzo makes the girl, she's like, eat the banana. And then the girl gets really angry at that. But supposedly, Lizzo was just abusing her power. This is what they're all saying. But I don't know if I buy that. I think it's bitter people, maybe, that are angry. Because they all look like Lizzo. This is what's going to drive them nuts. They look exactly like her. And she's worth $40 million, and they're probably getting paid shit. So they're in the background every night, dancing. And it ain't easy. It's fun to be on that TV show that she had, but then you have to do it every night. And they're icing their joints. You know, it's hard. They're in the trailer. It's fucking tough. Lizzo had to start getting on some of them, going like, you got to tone it down. You know, it's becoming a problem. You know, the weight is becoming a problem. And then Lizzo's response was she's like, I would never fire any of them because of their weight. It's like, what a weird statement. They're dancers. How fat can they get? How fucking big can they get? If I wanted to be a dancer for Taylor Swift and she came up to me and went, you're too fat to do this, I'd go, that makes sense. And I'd leave with some dignity. But these women, Lizzo has them on stage, she has them dancing, and then all of a sudden, you know, she's abusing or making them do weird shit, and they all are now suing her, and her streaming has slowed down big time. The ads, you know how it is. It's a big cancellation.
So did she... So this show, were these girls dancers before they got on her show?
No,
or
because
just girls?
You can't be a dancer at a certain...
Right.
Let's just be very honest here. They're not at the ballet. You know how the ballerinas are on the tippy toes?
Yes.
That's not happening. These women, it's a fetish dancing.
Yeah.
These are larger women. Okay, and I don't mean like, I had a cheesecake. I mean like, these are big ladies. And they're dancing because Lizzo's whole thing, Lizzo's like, I'm not getting enough attention just being the fatty up front. I want everyone on stage to be fat so I can get more praise.
Right.
Because the media will be like, not only is she fat, everyone's fat. The whole stage looks like shit. How good of a person is she? That's what they wanted. I think that's what she wanted. She wanted, it wasn't enough that it was her. It had to be everybody. And that's what bit her in the ass.
But the question was, these gals, how often did they have to dance? Was it like every night? Like, how often was that show? Was it a once-a-week show? What was it?
I don't know, but they're on tour, so you'd figure when you're they're on tour.
Okay, so they're doing regular shows.
Regular shows.
Now, this is my question. When you're a big girl and you're not exercising, then all of a sudden someone hires you for a dance show because they want big girls.
Right.
And then you have to do that kind of shit every day.
It's tough.
Your body's not prepared for that. Your joints are weak.
It's very hard.
Like you could get really fucked up doing. It's like asking someone to go into like some crazy cardiovascular workout.
Right. That's it. And they get mad at Lizzo because Lizzo doesn't have to do anything. She just pulls out the flute.
Can I see what it looked like? Can you show me what that show was like?
Can you show us the big girls? Here Come the Big Girls is the show. But I think they're also angry at Lizzo because they're like, we're dancing and rehearsing. She doesn't have to rehearse. Lizzo just kind of walks out on stage and sings her songs and does a little, but then pulls out the flute. These girls have to like dance through the whole thing. So it's difficult. It's hard.
It sounds hard.
It's not easy.
Here's the TV show, I guess.
It's hard for a dancer.
Here we go.
Okay, so there's Lizzo. It's on Amazon Prime Video.
What's up, y'all? It's Lizzo. I'm looking for dancers to join me on my tour. Girls that look like me don't get representation. Time to pull up my sleeves and find them myself. We thick and we pretty and we know what we about. It's the battle of the big girls.
Background dancer for Lizzo would just mean everything.
You could tell how badly this was going to go, by the way.
Hey, ladies! What do we have in store? This is the fun part.
This just goes to show, for all you ignorant fucks out there that say fat people can't do everything that skinny people can do, they can do it all. There's no limits. Their one kryptonite is cupcakes. That's it. But everything else, they can't be stopped.
I feel like that has been detrimental in how I approach dance. I'm realizing that I do deserve a spot on that stage.
It's hard to love yourself in a world that doesn't love you back.
You were created specially in your image for you to enjoy.
You don't have to be light-skinned. You don't have to be skinny. You're just beautiful the way you are.
I need to challenge myself and step outside my comfort zone.
Now I'm going into competition mode.
Some people are not at the same level that I am.
I'm gonna call you Lil Sis.
He's trying to demean me. She's not understanding how to read the room.
You might not make it into the show.
I see
All
a
right.
lot of
Right.
So what was that one that we just passed through? There was one that like, was that a transgender person?
Yes, I believe that is a transgender person.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
in like a quick glance.
Yes, it was a quick. That wasn't, I'll say they didn't do a great job at the, fully going to the other gender there. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
They kind of stopped. And that's fine. Not everyone does a great job all the time at everything.
Not but anybody has
I've brought my car in to get washed, and it comes out, and you go, meh. And that's kind of what that was. But
so the show is basically she's hiring these girls,
these girls, listen,
and then they're going on tour together.
I've had drug addictions. I've had eating things. Like, when you are not in a good mental state, which is a lot of the reason people act out with different things, right? With substances, with food, with whatever. Listen, if you have people that are emotionally, that have issues, and Lizzo might have them as well, it's a toxic soup of maybe becomes a problem on tour.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's the idea of a judge having to adjudicate this, to me, is the funniest thing I've ever. The idea of a judge in a room having to go, who called who fat, looking Lizzo's on one side and then the dance, and he's like staring at everybody going, wait, who's who? Who's what? Who's fat? Like,
Tim Dillon is like the funniest dude on the planet. Oh my god. Everything he says is hilarious.
it's crazy, but it's unfortunate because they're coming for her career.
Yeah.
They're coming for her career big time.
The show itself seems like it would be a health risk.
It
It
is.
seems like it would be, right? Like to force people to work out.
Yes.
Part of the lawsuit has to do with the recording that one of the dancers made, and I'm reading this article. This sounds, it's interesting. If you guys would want to read it,
Okay.
it's pretty fun.
The suit
does it say?
also describes an alleged meeting with dancers on April 27th in which Lizzo repeatedly referenced Williams' termination, allegedly telling her that she had, quote, eyes and ears everywhere. Davis recorded this meeting because she suffers from an eye condition that can make her, quote, disoriented in stressful situations, according to the suit. Days later, Lizzo allegedly held an emergency meeting where she discovered that the previous meeting had been recorded, the suit says. She became furious, hurling expletives at the group and stating that she was going to go around the room person by person until somebody told Lizzo, who made the recording, according to the lawsuit. The suit says Davis confirmed that she had recorded the meeting, allegedly told Lizzo that she hadn't meant any harm, and had deleted the video. Lizzo allegedly responded, "There is nothing you can say to make me believe you." So it's kind of like mafia shit.
All right. They got, well, someone did. Here's what I want to know. When it says became furious, hurling expletives at the group, and stated that she was going to go around the room person by person until someone told Lizzo, who made the recording. God, I hope she refers to herself in the third person.
Somebody better tell Lizzo.
Because if that, I hope that's how she says it. That would be amazing. If she said someone better tell Lizzo.
Yeah, I mean, she brought all these women on tour probably to abuse them, you know?
I don't think they thought it through. That's what I'm saying. It's about
when
like,
you
the
have
health.
a bunch of fatty boom baddies on the tour, she's probably having a little fun, going, girls, you know, she's probably
eat some pussy out of a banana.
Yeah, eat the pussy banana. And also, bitch, do it, because where else are you going to dance?
Right.
You're not getting hired anywhere else. Like, unfortunately or fortunately, you're not working.
Right.
So you were given this really weird, unique opportunity that only exists with this one woman.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist anywhere else. So, you know.
This is like not to body shame anybody, but there's been a weird shift.
Yes.
In just the way society looks at these things.
Yes.
Because it used to be that women that were representing clothes and things had ideal shapes.
Yes.
Like that's what they used for advertisement.
Right.
And then something changed and they decided
Well,
to...
society used to really prioritize people who could breathe on their own. and listen, as a person, I've struggled with my weight, but I know that fat is not good. Eating the wrong thing isn't good. We shouldn't turn it into good.
Right.
It's crazy to turn it into good. That's a horrible idea.
So there was actually a time in the 1600s to the 1500s to 1800s or thereabouts where being fat, being overweight was considered to be very fashionable. And there's also a time in ancient Greece or Rome when only the wealthy elites had enough money to get fat. So it was actually a status symbol. So just like bell-bottom jeans or Jenkos, you know, it's coming back, and fat goes in and out of fashion. Just like being skinny, just like being muscular, just like being gay, straight, I don't know. Everything. It's just a big cycle. Human beings think we're like changing the fucking world. We're just recycling old shit. It's already been done. Many, many, many fucking times. We've been here for 300,000 years. And you motherfuckers still think that you're coming up with new shit. Now maybe computers, the old ones got destroyed 11,000 years ago when the Younger Dryas floods happened. That pushed all the sea level rose, all the computers are under the water. So we just haven't found them yet. Buried treasure in the ocean. Marine expeditions. If you got a boat, go look for that shit. I'm telling you.
The way Jerry Seinfeld sells, like, he goes, there's nothing better than a pair of Levi's. Or you know?
Yeah.
Or he goes, a Volkswagen Beetle or a Big Pen. He's like, if things don't make you happy, you don't have the right things. It's so funny, and I feel like he does think a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Because that is a group of person, too, where they're almost spiritually connected to inanimate objects.
Yeah.
You know? Like, and he said this is all going to be in my new book, Soulful Materialism. But it's just funny to me because it's like there are people you meet that when you talk to them, you go, oh, yeah, like, this does mean a lot to you.
That's a very funny premise, though. That's a very
so
good
funny.
Jerry Seinfeld premise.
It's the best thing I've, like, I think his, you know, I'm not familiar with all of his comedy. His show's brilliant. Obviously, his comedy's brilliant. But that award speech I saw was like this very unique, different thing that he goes, yeah, these awards, he goes, here's what they really are. He goes, I know this award means nothing. He goes, and I know that because the last time we did this, you know, the last time they had this award show, they left a bunch of them up on stage, and you all just came up here and grabbed them. He goes, you didn't earn them, but he goes, you just brought them home because they prop up your meaningless lives. It's the best thing I've seen from him. It was my just favorite thing because it does seem like he's totally raw And I feel like that is him.
Yeah.
Like he is being real in that moment where he's basically like, no, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the shiny thing. He goes, it doesn't matter that it doesn't work when I get it home. I want it now. He goes, I want the thing on the commercial. I want it. And there is something so deeply American about that. It is disturbing on some level. But there's also a level where you got to just recognize how powerful that stuff is, too.
Yeah.
Like, we are one of the only generations of people that have experienced this level of prosperity.
Oh, yeah.
Which is crazy.
And instant access to goods.
To everything.
You have an app on your phone, Amazon.
Anything.
And you can just buy whatever you want. You can buy crazy shit on Amazon. Very expensive things on Amazon. You just have it sent to your house.
It's like my boomer parents were like the first heavily propagandized generation with regard to advertising.
Yeah.
That's why we all grew up eating shit because, like, they believed corporations.
Yeah.
Corporations were like, McDonald's is it. Your kids are going to love it. And you're like, all right, go to McDonald's. Now, my cousin's 2 kids have never had McDonald's. They're 6 and 4. She goes, they'll never. She goes, I can't control them forever, but for right now, they'll never have McDonald's. We grew up eating there.
Yeah.
Because corporations were paramount. My father loves commercials.
Who the fuck's still going to McDonald's? It's like $20 for cheeseburger, fries, and a drink. You know, they've gone off reservation. McDonald's inflation is real. In 3 short years, it went from being able to get sandwiches for $1.50 to like $20. You know, the cheapest shit on their menu is now like $3 or $4. Absolute insanity. Okay, the world is upside down. McDonald's didn't realize that they used to be the solution for people that couldn't afford groceries. So they're like, fuck you, buddy. Pay me. No thanks. I'll just go out and get real food then.
As much as TV shows. He used to call me like the Budweiser frogs were his favorite thing in the world. Remember those 3 frogs?
I do remember those
on
frogs.
On the lily pads?
I
They would
do
go,
remember them.
Budweiser. And my father loved them. To him, that was art. Like, that was, the boomers were like one of the first generations where the advertising was art. Like, after 9/11, Budweiser did this commercial where all the Clydesdales took a knee and they said, from one America. And they were doing it, and you're like, where was it? And they're doing it in Jersey, and you're looking at where the towers used to be. And it took you a minute to get it. And then they all take a knee, and Budweiser said, from one American icon to another. And my father's like crying in the living room, going, this is the greatest thing I've seen. The bodies were still like smoldering, and my father, yeah, here it is. It's crazy.
I found this shirt on the clam flats. We were coming in, some clammers left it on the mud flats, and I said, mine. And this was back when Budweiser was a good old American brand. We're talking 1999, 2000, something like that. The old days, back when we used to have to walk uphill both ways to our dinosaurs' stables.
An Applebee's guy.
I love Applebee's.
Really? What's it about Applebee's?
I love the neighborhood, man. I love the
atmosphere.
I love the atmosphere. I love the drink they give you that comes with a gummy shark.
Which one's that?
I don't know what it's
It's
called.
like one of them signature cocktails.
Yeah, but it's so good. And they have a special Mountain Dew at Applebee's.
They do?
Yeah.
It's special?
Yeah, it's special. It's only in Applebee's.
What's the special?
You looking for another one of those?
No, I got this one right here.
I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
It's like a raspberry flavor, I think.
I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey, Chip.
Darkberry Bash. It's
What'd
called
you do
actually.
today?
NASA uses
We threw
orange
Grandpa
filters.
Chip's watermelons off the bridge.
I swear to God, check that shit out. Look into it.
They might.
guys.
I think what Jamie is saying about color correction, though, is accurate.
Yeah, like when I was just looking at the photos, they all come black and white, I think.
Right. I think the thing is that they're just getting data. They're getting data, and that data has to be interpreted into an image. And it's a lot more complicated than like you taking a picture on your iPhone and texting it to me, and I get it, and it's in full resolution.
Look up Mars.
iMessage.
Look up Mars. Copy and paste. Look up NASA. Copy and paste.
NASA copy.
Let's see if this works. Just add Mars for a buzzword.
What do you think about all this UFO disclosure shit? Are you paying attention to it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I think it's pretty cool.
That's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? Like how little people seem to care.
Because we already know.
I know, but it's interesting that like there wasn't like some moment where people like were like, "Holy shit, aliens are real." There
Pretty
wasn't a
soon
moment.
that's coming.
You think? I think it's because of this slow trickle. It's going to be. We just accept it.
Well, they try to normalize it with like War of the Worlds, which is like the or Battle of Los Angeles and shit like that. That was a real fucking thing that happened. The pictures of Battle Los Angeles is crazy.
What happened exactly?
There's
Battle of Los Angeles?
There's this big object in the sky, and we're shooting machine guns at it. We
What year
got
was this?
spotlights. This is like in the 50s, maybe.
I remember seeing it. There's this photo.
Look at this shit.
Wow.
So we're putting fucking.
So the reason that they do anal probes is when they first were abducting, first couple abductions, they found a condom of cocaine in the anal cavities, and now they're addicted to cocaine. So they keep abducting people and searching their anal cavities for cocaine. Oh, shit.
Rounds
So they have
on
these
this fucking thing.
Spotlights on this thing in the sky.
Look at the rounds.
Right, but what is it? What is it that they see? That's weird. That all you can see is spotlights.
1947. It says in the corner.
Boy, that looks like a fucking flying saucer.
Look at
That
in
one?
the middle
Yeah.
and look at but those things around it, those are fucking like Ma Deuce rounds. Like they're shooting at this fucking thing. They don't know what it is.
Well, you know that there's a famous story from the Soviet Union that these guys shot at a UFO and it turned them into stone.
Is it
And
true?
I don't know. The CIA investigated it. Here, I'll send it to you, Jamie, because I sent it to Jeremy Corbell, and that's what I asked him.
Fuck, I should have had links, Jamie. God damn it.
Well, this is the only link I have. It's
CIA UFO turned into stone.
You can find that stuff.
You're
Did you
definitely on
find
a
it?
watch list, Jamie.
Yeah, so there's literally like a CIA document about it. That these guys supposedly shot at a low-flying spaceship. Look at it. According to the KGB materials, a quite low-flying spaceship in the shape of a saucer appeared above a military unit that was conducting routine training maneuvers. For unknown reasons, somebody unexpectedly launched a surface-to-air missile and hit the UFO. It fell to Earth not far away, and 5 short humanoids with large heads and large black eyes emerged from it. It is stated in the testimonies by the 2 soldiers who remained alive that after freeing themselves from the debris, the aliens came close together and then merged into a single object that acquired a spherical shape. That object began to buzz and hiss sharply and then became brilliant white. In a few seconds, the spheres grew much bigger and exploded by flaring up with an extremely bright light. At that very instant, 23 soldiers who had watched...
I'm pretty sure that the Ark of the Covenant and all that shit is fucking recovered alien artifacts throughout history or some shit. I don't know. But this is some crazy wild ass shit. I can't wait. I want to fly an alien spaceship.
Watched the phenomenon turned into stone poles.
Poles.
Yeah, only 2 soldiers who stood in the shade and were less exposed to the luminous explosion survived.
No shit.
The KGB report goes on to say that the remains of the UFO and the petrified soldiers were transferred to a secret scientific research institution near Moscow. Specialists assume that a source of energy that is still unknown to Earthlings instantly changed the structure of the soldiers' living organisms, having transformed it into a substance whose molecular composition is no different from that of limestone. Oh my God.
It turned them into limestone.
Turned them literally into limestone.
And this is a CIA paperwork?
Well, this is, they're reading from a KGB file, right? So it's just
reprint from the newspaper.
Go to the very bottom of that again, Jamie. At the very bottom of that. It's just one of the things that says, the CIA representative stated, if the KGB file corresponds to reality, this is an extremely menacing case. The aliens possess such weapons and technology that go beyond all our assumptions. They can stand up for themselves if attacked. But the thing is, they're saying if the file corresponds to reality, that means there's a question.
If this is real, they're tough.
Yeah, they can fuck with you.
What year was this released?
I don't know.
Source is a newspaper.
1991?
93.
So there's all these disclosures that are going on right now, and they're very, very fascinating because it's hard to know what's true and what's not true. But it's interesting that they're talking about it. But no one showed me anything yet. I'm waiting for them to show me things. I've seen some things already, like those videos that they took off the FLIR video and the Go Fast video, and these videos of these things where these fighter pilots are trying to track this thing, and it's like zipping across the sky, and they're like, what the fuck is that? I've seen a few of those. I've talked to 2 different fighter pilots that have had encounters.
And they're all in.
They're all in. I think there's a real thing going on.
Bunch of shit on Reddit too. People talking about commercial pilots. If you know them personally, there's a lot of pilots that say they see a lot of shit fucking zipping around up there that can't be explained. But until recently, they weren't encouraged to report it. Basically, you're making yourself look like a fucking nut job. So everybody was just shutting the fuck up. Don't talk about it. Just act like it's not going on.
What that real thing is what's confusing to me. I think some of it has to be ours. I think some of it has to be like super advanced drone technology that we don't want everyone knowing about, and it's probably some black ops shit. But I don't think that's all of it. I think it's also possible that we've been visited. It just makes sense. It sounds so stupid. That's part of the problem of even talking about it, because it sounds dumb. Because there's no evidence. So you have to believe in something where there's no evidence of it other than like some blurry photographs. But then when you just think about the size of the universe itself and the fact that we exist here on this planet. We're real. We know we're real.
What if it's fucking Amartya or whatever, and they're from fucking the center of the earth and the holes in the polar...
Hell yeah, flat Earth, buddy.
Whatever, north and south. And
if aliens are here...
And that's why... Google Maps blocks it all out and all that shit.
Well, that would be a great theory before cell phones like that.
But it's not there. You still can't see it.
Yeah, but you can with satellites and also flight patterns. Like the people that
copy and paste. By the way,
you know who doesn't think the world is flat? Pilots.
True. Or anyone who's been in an airplane.
They fly around, these motherfuckers. They know where they have to go. They know the flight patterns.
And you look at it.
Yeah, you look at it. Yeah. Also, by the way, everything's round. Go out in the fucking sky and look at Mars, look at Jupiter, get a telescope, look at all the stars. Notice how everything's round? Seems like there's a pattern going on. Yeah. Why would this be different?
This ass is round.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird, man. I don't know. And you're talking about the oh shit moment. I think we've been so like normalized to it, like ET, all this shit. Growing up watching this shit, to where it's like, yeah, no shit. Everyone, no matter what the surveys say or anything, everyone thinks there's like something going on.
Everyone, yeah. There's a few people that still are very incredulous. Elon, believe it or not, is incredulous. He's famously said, if the aliens are real, they sure are subtle.
They're very subtle. Bigfoot's subtle, too. Doesn't mean he's not an interdimensional being that could teleport at will.
He knows where the cameras are.
He's an omniscient being.
He shuts down trail
Bigfoot
cams.
is just Jesus Christ, full beard all over.
All right. He's just Woods Jesus. Yeah, that's what he is.
Y'all seen the Woods,
He's
Jesus.
a mythical creature that's looking out for humanity, our brothers and sisters. They need our help.
He's a benevolent, kind being. He's got a big heart.
Barbie movie?
No, I have not. No, sir.
A lot of people are upset about the Barbie movie, and I left perplexed.
Did you see it?
Yeah, it was a fun movie.
Was it good?
Fun, silly movie about dolls who come to life. But it's, a lot of it is about the patriarchy.
Sure.
And, it's a comedy. It's a comedy about dolls.
Sure.
So people are like, people are upset that it's this, like progressive metaphor for life, that it's, that they're pushing.
The people who are pissed are so fucking stupid. Barbie is a celebration of the female becoming empowered and not becoming a doll, not being a doll anymore, coming to life and not just being an object of desire, but like having her own car, doing her own thing, being fucking famous and hot, and everybody thinks she's awesome. Like, what is the fucking problem? I swear to God, people's brains are just made of like mashed potatoes or something. Let me get my strong hand. You want some mashed potatoes?
Progressive politics in this. I'm like, it's a fucking doll movie.
Yeah.
It's a doll movie.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie about dolls who come to life and try to interact with the real world. And there's this lady in it who's this mom who, I'm spoiler alert, who makes Barbie feel sad because she's playing with Barbie and she has sad feelings. It's a fucking interesting movie. It's like, because I was like, wow, this is an original movie. Like, no one's ever done a movie like this before. It's not like anything else you could say. It was a bizarre movie, but it was a fun, silly movie. I laughed. But at the end of it, I was like, how did people get outraged at that? Like, they were saying it's I know some people personally who said it's anti-men. I'm like, no, it's making fun of dorks. It's making fun. It's
right.
Fun. You didn't think it was fun? Like, if that was a real person.
This right here is fucking part of the problem. People think that there's a gender war, like people want the war in Ukraine, they want Russia to fall, they want a war between the sexes. Like, you whoever is pro-war is anti everything else, you fucking assholes. So don't fucking stand on your soapbox and say, oh, I'm pushing the feminist agenda. No, you're fucking warmonger. You're a fucking warmonger. You're just as fucking bad as anybody else who wants fucking war and fighting. And you shouldn't have power. If you're fucking warmonger and you got no fucking brains, no fucking discipline, and no belief that everybody should work together, then you should never be given any fucking power. Ever, ever, ever. Because you're a piece of shit.
Person, that happening to them, isn't that fun?
Well,
That's
Margot and Ryan are just like amazing.
Amazing together in that movie, too.
I have to see it. I want to see it.
But you can redeem yourself. Okay, so no one is condemned forever. I'm just saying, if that's your attitude, you need to change it because it's fucking toxic as fuck. Don't come at men and say that there's toxic masculinity when this is what the people who are pissed off about Barbie are obviously not men. Men love Barbie. Every man wants to be with a girl who looks like Barbie. She's gorgeous. That's just what men want. I mean, I'm sorry, but there are certain men want different stuff, but most men want a woman who looks like the conventional attractive woman. And you're not going to change that by some sort of gender war and breaking down the fabric of society and just being a very negative presence in the world.
Yeah, I just haven't.
I enjoyed it. I just didn't understand why people were getting so upset. Like, do you think that's you? Are they making fun? Are all men in this one? Are we going to do this thing where we put all men as men? It's one category. We're not going to judge people as individuals.
Right.
We're going to pretend that these individuals in this mill, who are clearly dorks because they're designed, it's fun. That you don't think like what happens to them and the way it happens isn't like fun. Like, I don't understand like why people think that represents all men. It's the dumbest sort of.
How does it like? What was the? So you said it's
people
like
get upset
anti-men.
They think it's a super woke movie, and that's the way to make that movie.
It's also a fucking movie.
But it's also a movie about.
We can't even agree if it's woke or if it's fucking a symbol of the patriarchy or if it's feminist. Like nobody fucking knows. Nobody can agree on shit. Everybody's just got their own camp. Nobody listens to each other. Each perspective group is like this is what the situation is. Men are who cares? You know, why are we fighting over fucking stupid movies about dolls? It's pathetic.
How Barbies are the dolls that everyone cares about, and Ken is just a fucking accessory.
Exactly.
Which is real.
Nobody gives a fuck about Ken.
So when you bring these things
Right.
into a movie and you make them real life
He is an
Barbie
accessory.
land,
Right.
that's how they have to be, because that's how it is in the real world. Like
Right.
that's the movie.
Right.
And then the movie, they go to the real world, and the real world sucks, and it's run by men. And so this is what people are saying makes this an anti-men
That's a good concept,
movie.
though.
It's a fucking fun movie, man. I don't get it. I'm appalled at how easily outraged so many people are. I could see if you don't like it. I could see if it wasn't your kind of movie. But that's...
So what do you do for a job? Oh, well, I'm an outrage farmer. I just plant seeds of hate and wait for it to bloom into disagreements and arguments. Pretty good year this year. Lot of stupidity falling, growing my crops.
Anything that someone creates.
To be honest, to be fair about that, like, it's also like, you said it's not your kind of movie. It's also the Barbie movie.
Right.
You have to kind of,
Exactly.
like, you
It's
can't
not for
go
you
in there
anyway.
walking so seriously about it.
Right. Why would you go to see AC/DC if you fucking hate AC/DC? Yeah. If you're like into classical
It's
music.
just to make fun of Brian Johnson. Be like, you're no Bon fucking Scott, man. You know that. I'm scared of that shit. I'm scared that people buy tickets to come and make fun of me. That's my biggest fear. That's my biggest fear. I haven't seen it yet, and hopefully don't do that. But it's all right, because I still sold a ticket.
Yeah. Go ahead, sit in the front with your frown on.
Hear more conspiracies, Eddie. Let's
That's what
go.
I'm saying.
I like Eddie.
You know what? Fuck the
half in
submarine.
The bag, son.
Fuck the submarine.
You're not
dog.
into the Hunter Biden stuff, though? What's
No,
up
the
with
Hunter
that?
Biden stuff is
What about the
interesting.
UFOs?
UFOs, it's Project Blue
We
Beam.
used to be all in on UFOs.
Dude, are you
Remember back
kidding?
in the
I was
day?
a UFO. Dude, I
Bro,
was the UFO.
Is there ice in there or no?
Yeah.
No, there's not. Oh, good. We don't have any ice.
Yeah, those ball ices are awesome.
Get some more ice? We'll get some more ice. We'll get some more ice.
I got more whiskey here.
Do you remember when you and I first got into Zecharia Sitchin?
Hell yeah.
Hell
yeah.
Back in the old days, Conspiracy Joe.
You know, I remember
I
how
think
he
we
got
all
into
miss
it, 'cause
Conspiracy
remember
Joe.
Gina, the girl I used to
Then
make
he took
music
DMT
with?
and lost
She
interest.
was like, you know, she was, you know, at
Which
some
is-
party. and
DMT's awesome.
We were
Fuck it.
working on some music. She goes,
I get
last
it.
night this guy told me about, there's this guy who wrote about some transcripts or something like that, and he said he was telling me that we're created by aliens to mine gold. And I remember like, what? She goes, yeah, he was telling me about this. I go, what's his name? His name was like Jody, because my friend Jody was telling me about this guy, and I'm like, can you call him up? And because it made sense to me, like, wait a minute, we were created as slaves to mine gold for this other planet? I was all balls deep in the UFOs. So I called this motherfucker. I go, do you remember what you were telling Gina? And he goes, yeah, there's this guy named Zecharia Sitchin. Look him up. He wrote a book called The 12th Planet. And I'm like, okay. So boom, got
Planet
into it. I'm
X.
like, oh shit, I believe that shit. They got me hook, line, and sinker, man. But yeah, you know. And then
So Eddie, do you think that do you believe that whistleblower, like that he's actually seeing the UFO?
I believe a lot of the people that see UFOs really believe they see it, and they just get set up. I think they're just.
But they're not seeing UFOs. They're seeing like
They're
maybe a drone. They
exactly.
don't know the technology.
Holograms, drones, some high level shit. They're pushing it so hard. It's so obvious.
Nibiru.
That's
It's
what's
so
weird.
Fuck
fucking
yeah, dude.
obvious.
Is that they're pushing it?
It's so
When it
obvious.
goes mainstream, I'm like, what's going on here? What
No,
are they trying
dude,
to
come
distract
on,
us
dog.
from?
And then at the same time, the Biden crime family shit's coming out, dog. All that shit where they said Rudy Giuliani was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He's a crackpot.
Yep.
They, dude, 2-3 years ago, they made him look like a fucking crackpot. And all he was doing, he goes, I got the laptop right here. We got it all right here. And the scariest
I saw
part
those videos.
was they got 51 intelligence officers to sign off on it.
know. That's
That it's
crazy. How scary
dude,
is that?
scary.
Scary.
You had
That's
51 guys bullshit?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
When they
scary.
knew,
Scary.
They knew that it was legit in 2019.
Dude, scary. That's scary
That's
shit.
crazy. Have you looked up the
And
laptop
what's
shit?
scary
is no one
is facing any repercussions.
Zero. He got a slap on
What
the
about all
wrist.
those guys?
Not just him. I'm talking about the people who told everyone that it was Russian disinformation.
They suffer no consequences.
And you know what? They stick with it though, because they're saying that the justice system is corrupt by saying that it's not.
Yeah.
They go, oh, they're lying. So it's just a lot of confusion.
Thank you, Jamie.
Dude, I went to the website where they released all his pictures and shit. That boy, a wild boy. He looks like a good time. I gotta be honest.
Oh,
Hey, can I
Hunter's
have
a
the
wild
ball
boy.
one? Can I have the ball ice?
I'll get some more.
No,
That
let's
is
go.
ball ice, no?
This is not
Oh,
ball
sorry.
ice.
Yeah, you got
I
it.
want the ball ice.
I want the ball too, but I love you.
Thank you.
And you're talking
I owe you.
conspiracies.
I owe you.
I know you conspiracies, the best in the world.
Dude, I'm not, dude, I'm keeping my mouth shut, dog. When 51 intelligence officers say it's Russian disinformation when it's not, and we knew it, scary. What kind of country are we living in? And all the shit
Dystopian,
they're throwing
motherfucker.
at Trump, they're trying to get rid of that motherfucker.
Good luck. I just want to say real clear, you are not keeping your mouth shut. What the fuck is that? I'm keeping my mouth shut. It's just fucking rattled
No,
up.
I said
51
shit.
intelligence officers.
No, I'm just saying what's already out there. Dude, I'm just saying what's already out there, dog. You know what I mean?
Bourbon.
I'm not trying to get fucking killed. I'm good. I got him. I got plenty.
Hold on, let me get some of that, Joe. Shout to Bodega Cat.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
Balcones,
They could have, dude. They could have got Penn.
Hot still bourbon.
Dude, they could have got Penn guys to sign off on it. That would have been a lot. But they went 50 because they know if they get 50, it's gonna be no doubt. Everyone's gonna believe that shit, right? And they stick with it even today. The mainstream media, they still stick with it.
Let me ask you this: why do they still keep singing the national anthem at a boxing fight? Because that shit takes so much time.
I almost got robbed, dude. They set me up, dude.
Recently?
Recently?
Like about a year ago. Did I even tell you about that?
No.
Yeah, dog.
In
right
LA?
There, right there off the 405, that Chevron on the 405 in Santa Monica, dog. I almost got killed. I never get gas like late because like you're a sitting duck at a gas station.
Yeah.
You're a sitting duck.
Yeah.
If someone's waiting for you,
Right.
they're gonna get you. And I never get gas late at night. It's fucking dangerous, especially the last couple years. And this was about a year and a half ago or something. And I get in my car, we're jamming. Like after class, we always jam. Like the whole front area, the whole front of my school, we closed during the scamdemic. We never opened it.
It's a
You have to
scamdemic.
come through the back. It's hard to find my school. We're a private gym. I don't want anybody walking in. So the whole front area, I got a piano in there. We got guitars, and we just jammed. We were jamming all night. Now it's fucking like 12:30. Time to go home. I turn on my truck, and it's fucking empty. I'm like, God damn it. You don't want to get gas in downtown at midnight.
Fuck no.
So I'm like, how far am I going to make it? So I get on the 10, and I'm going west on the 10, and I'm going to go up the 405. I'm like, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? And then I got north on the 405, the lights on. I'm like, fuck it, let me just get off on Santa Monica. Got off on Santa Monica. And then you make a left, and you go under the freeway, and the Chevron's on the right.
I know where that one
and
is.
I'm pulling up to it. The gas station main part is closed, but the pumps are still open. But you could tell it's closed. And I pull up, and I drive in, and I see two dudes with hoodies on, holding like bags, like 20 yards away from me as I'm pulling in. And you know when you get a new car, it takes you forever to figure out how to lock the door.
Yeah.
When you come in, you're like, turn the key, and then boom. It takes you a while, like you get to rent a car.
Yeah.
But after you have a car for like 5 years, you're just like,
Right.
You know what I mean? You get in,
Right.
You know what I mean? But at first, it's like you're trying to learn that shit and how to lock it and all that. So I always practice when I get in my car. As soon as I shut the door, lock. As soon as I shut the door, lock. But when you have a new car, you have to, it takes a couple seconds until it becomes muscle memory. But I had my truck, dude. I got that shit down. So I drive up, and I'm looking at these two guys facing away from me with a hoodie on, and they're just standing there walking in like the gas station that's closed and away from me. I'm like, what? Then I'm just sitting there, and I park. I'm like, fuck it. Okay, let me put gas. I open the door, and as soon as I open the door and I walk out, this dude pops up, boom, right in front of my car and starts walking. He's got a mask on. He comes up right in front of my truck. Dude, I jumped in and went, drove away. And he goes, I'm going to wash your windows, man. And I'm like, fuck you. And I drove away, dog. And, dude, if they would have just waited until I started pumping. Because I was keeping my eyes on the two guys over there. I was keeping my eyes on them. I was gonna come out and pump and then this dude right in front of my truck pops up, boom, and he comes around. Dude, I jumped in, dude. Boom, bam, drove away, and he had a mask on, and he said, "It's gonna wash your windows." I'm like, "Where's your fucking squeegee?" Where's you got the squeegee? Dude, and I drove away, and I barely made it to another gas station up on, like, Moraga or whatever it's on, like, by Sunset.
Yeah.
Dude, they almost had me, dog. They almost fucking had me.
Jesus.
If
you should never, ever drive at night.
You know what? Then I wondered. I thought, dude, I didn't sleep.
California's got some crazy shit going on out there right now. It's not really a nice place at night. A lot of desperation.
That night, I didn't sleep that night, and I'm like, and I swear to God, I felt like, okay, I have a purpose in life because I should have been dead right there.
If I was here, he would be betting.
Yeah.
We'd get him to bet on something stupid.
Yeah, I'll take his money.
How much does he owe you?
We lost count, man. I don't know these days.
But you must be up like considerably, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
But I'll take the dogs. But then recently he was trying to get me to take a fight, and then he even called my manager. I was like, hey bud, are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, he was talking about it on the podcast, so he is serious. He is serious about you fighting bare knuckle MMA.
It started off as a joke when Jorge came on, and Jorge's like, well, we want to offer you a fight. I'm like, it's not happening, dude. And we're just joking around. I was like, I'll fight another comedian. I'll fight Louis C.K. or Tim Dillon, like joking around, right? And he's like, no. He's like, Derek Lewis, a free agent. And Brian's like, oh, Derek Lewis. I'm like, I'm not. Are you out of your fucking bare knuckle with Derek Lewis? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Are you crazy?
Then they threw out another name, like, well, I could beat that guy tonight in my shorts. And then afterwards, the money they were throwing around is insane, dude. And I wouldn't do it.
How's he getting so much money?
They have big time funders.
Really?
The money's stupid. I'll tell you off here. You're talking multiple seven figures.
Wow.
I was like, and I guess for my ego, I'm like, damn, it's cool. You think I'm worth that? Definitely not. But it's great. You got, it's a compliment. But Brian's out of his fucking mind. I'm like, you have any idea? I'd have to halt everything I'm doing.
Yeah.
Get in the camp for 4 months just to get in that fight shape. And then it's not like I'm fighting UFC, which I'm used to, which is 10 years ago. Bro, you're talking bare knuckle MMA, and they want to do it in Denver where they allow head stomps. Against Derek Lewis.
They allow head stomps?
Yeah. Are you out of your fucking
Oh, wait a minute. This
mind?
is bare knuckle MMA?
Yes.
I like that.
Do they allow soccer kicks?
I don't know. I think so.
Man, if you could head stomp a guy.
Both of those come up. Both of those come up with a lot of soccer kicks, head stomps, and if they go knees to the head on the ground, that's the
game
trifecta.
changer.
That's the
And
trifecta
the biggest game changer. The biggest game changer. Headbutts is one too, because when headbutts are legal, the guard changes. When headbutts are legal, this is your guard. Go watch any old Valetudo.
For sure.
Overhook here, and you're like this, protecting your head. That's the stance. They all stood like You're like always. That's how you fight. So
Mark Coleman was the master of that. Remember?
Then when they outlawed headbutts, shit changed. Then you could open up a little bit. But when they outlawed elbows to the back of the head, that changed everything, because there was a time where I'm like, why even get good at rear naked chokes? As soon as they get the back, you see, like Henzo did it. I remember John was. As soon as you get the back, you throw 3 elbows, everybody taps. You don't even need to develop any kind of skill to choke someone out. Those elbows at the back of the head, once they took that shit out, changed a lot.
But changed a lot, because that is such a vulnerable place. You got a guy riding your back.
Insane.
And he can. You don't even see him. Yeah. Right? He's behind you.
Yeah, I think that's how the Henzo Gracie Ben Spikers.
Yes.
Fight. He got his back and he just started dropping bows on the back of his head.
And then remember, he stepped on his neck when he stepped off of him?
Yeah, apparently the guy was talking a lot of shit.
And the guy kept calling him in his hotel, like all throughout, all hours of the night, so he wouldn't get any sleep.
Yeah.
He had to put the phone in a drawer.
Some fans, I forget which fight it was, but they pulled the fire alarm. I'm like, you're waking up my opponent too, you dumbass. Fucking idiots. He's in Toronto, I think.
Well.
But Brian's out of his mind regardless.
Yeah.
He's like a
I don't know why
Don
he
King.
would try to get you to do that. Unless he's getting a piece of it.
Is
he trying to get a piece of that?
Agent piece.
Yeah, did he have a fucking secret conversation with...
He might have, without me knowing.
Get Schaub, we'll give you $20,000.
All right, now we're switching over to the Shawn Ryan podcast, but it's only some quick clips. Skinwalker Ranch. Oh, the sound is mastered very differently. Let's turn.
When I flew in and saw the property for the first time, I was shocked at how beautiful, how strikingly beautiful the landscape was. As the helicopter came in and I was looking over at my brother who was piloting, I was taken aback by how beautiful the property was and the diversity of the landscape. You have these old pioneer homesteads that are still standing, that provide a very unique, interesting backdrop. I was also surprised to find that on the perimeter fence line, there were animal body parts. There were animal bladders hanging from the fence line. And I asked the security, I said, what is the nature of, what the hell is that? Why are those things hanging from the fence line? And the security at the time looked at me with a straight face and said, look, the Native American neighbors that surround this property place these animal bladders on the fence line and bless them to keep the demonic spirits and entities inside this property and off of their property. The ranch was part of a Pentagon-funded Black Budget program
Ranch.
Between
Strange
2007 and 2013, but he
skinned alive and turned inside out with no blood.
To keep that
What's going
private.
on?
I proceeded to engage professionals to bring in a superintendent within days who helped assess the physical facilities and what we needed to do in order to install certain things, and not only conducting drone surveillance of the property, but also developing a historical record of the landscape to better understand every inch of this 512-acre assemblage.
512 acres.
Several weeks later, I get another call. Brandon, I've got another image. Myself and the caretakers just saw a glowing object appear right outside of Homestead 1 or right outside of the ranch house, and I've got the images.
Fucking beams of light going up into the sky behind the mountain ridgeline. What the fuck is going on at Skinwalker Ranch?
And I need to show you this. And I told him, drive straight to my office. Please get here as fast as you can.
Yeah. You were still a skeptic, correct? And now you have a guy who had a major part in Area 51. What's going through your head when you get a phone call asking you for this guy from Area 51, this is his lifelong dream to come out to Skinwalker's Ranch? I mean, does that validate?
No, I just thought it was cool. There has been great disagreement relative to the origin and the agenda associated with the phenomenon, not just at Skinwalker Ranch, but globally.
What is a skinwalker?
A skinwalker is a shape-shifting demonic entity. It's essentially a Native American witch or warlock that sells their soul in exchange for immortality, the ability to take on the skin or shape-shift, oftentimes in the form of a wolf, a dire wolf, or a werewolf-like creature, but they can also take on the shape of other animals as well.
Skinwalkers with flashlights.
You had already gone to D.C., you had briefed the Senate Intelligence Committee, and now they have an asset, unannounced to you, working at your property that you're funding the experiments on. How long? That went on for what, 2-3 years?
3 years, yeah.
3 years, you didn't know. And then it gets disclosed.
Yeah.
How did that, and by the way...
It was mind-blowing. It was compelling evidence that we're dealing with an intelligence on the ranch that has the ability to manipulate technology and systems instantaneously, and has the ability to communicate, and has intention. There's volition.
Were you able to translate it into anything?
It essentially had the simple response, again, instantaneously, of I living.
Banger. 3 days.
Good evening, this is Frank Knight. May I introduce our co-editors for this edition of the Longines Chronoscope? Larry Lasser, CBS News correspondent, and Kenneth Crawford, National Affairs Editor of Newsweek magazine. Our very distinguished guest for this evening is Admiral Richard E. Byrd.
Antarctica Treaty of 1959.
Antarctique.
An agreement signed by 12 nations in which the Antarctic continent was made demilitarized to be preserved for scientific research. What do you think about that?
I must say that Admiral Byrd, our guest tonight, is not only our greatest living explorer, but he's been an inspiration to countless Americans. Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this Earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is.
He was also previously contracted by Raytheon Polar Services as a cook to work on a cat train that went across the ice, and he said the express purpose for him, I should say, for that team, working for Raytheon, was they were searching for missile site locations.
They find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily.
The whole idea of this being demilitarized is a load of baloney.
But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole, on the other side of the South Pole, from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing, because the government has really become interested. I tell you one reason they're interested. It's by far the most valuable, important place left in the world for science.
They gave us, told us the 30-second sign. We're all hooked up, ready to go. John Master's got his arm up, getting ready to hit me in the back. And then we see shuffling, and I'm only one of 12 guys that I jump with every time.
He filed a classified complaint under oath, and the Intelligence Community Inspector General said that he found the complaint urgent and credible.
A guy from the back shuffles his way to the front, and it's one of the escorts. He is unmistakable. You can't. I mean, really? You know.
Yeah.
I think it gives weight to a lot of the people that have come forward and talked about having direct first-hand experience. That should be investigated now.
The van that they had us in, it didn't have any windows. As soon as the door opened, it looked like a literal dump. That was a 45-degree concrete door. So we go inside, meet another escort in there. take us to this freight elevator. One of the guys looks at my dad and is saying to both of us, keep your head down, your eyes on the heels of the man in front of you, or you'll be shot. I get in there, and my dad's sitting at his couch, and everything is torn out, everything is gone. I was like, do you think this had something to do with Range 19? And he stood up, that man you saw, and he said, don't you ever mention that name to me again. And that was the last time that I got to spend any time face to face with my daddy.
Invariably, the first reports were brought in by quiet and sober citizens like Frank Manor, father of 10 children, a countryman, a hunting man, a man used to wooded swamplands by night.
Frank Manor's UFO remained over his swamp more than 4 hours. His children saw it, his in-laws saw it, residents of the area saw it, the police saw it.
No, it moved very rapidly at any speed, or rather any direction it wanted to go. Why it could change and go to the right or the left or go crossways without hesitating a bit.
When you saw this...
Without hesitating a bit. Wanted to go, why it could change and go to the right or the left or go crossways without hesitating a bit.
When you saw this thing take off, I mean, do you have any estimation of speed? How
No, it was faster. It was the fastest thing I've ever seen.
you were worried they're going to kill you?
Yeah.
The Whistleblower Protection Act that has been put forward in the National Defense Authorization Act. I mean, this is what it's for.
And the gear that they had was black OTV vests. They had black camouflage utilities.
So what you're saying is there would have been no they were professionals.
Yes,
there would have been
yes.
no Mexican standoff where
No.
if they fired, they're shooting into their other squad. They had perfect angles.
Yes, they did.
To where both sides could engage you.
Yes.
This is the video, it's called the Comburgus video, which is a close-up of a craft so close that you can see the occupants. It is 100% real, and I was there as that was filmed.
Well, now it's time. Now we're seeing that this is an issue that must be investigated.
I can tell you from our point of view, it's something that just
Herrera.
looked very unnatural and abnormal.
What could somebody threaten you with to
DC
make you turn your
law.
back on your own child?
I want to emphasize that we are currently in a state
Hecker.
of war that people aren't realizing.
3-part series. I highly recommend you go check all of them out. Aliens are real. The craft are real. Whoever's operating them is shoving things in our butts. This is a big deal. We need to investigate. All right. No, but seriously. Let's take it serious, guys. Come on. Jesus Christ, bunch of children. Good God.
I'm not suicidal. I would never kill myself.